Still kind of in the thinking stage of my van layout. Never pays to rush these things, I find. One thing I have done though is stuck up the exercise bar, the pull-up bar. As you can see, it's actually worked really well. It's just a barbell bar, which I got off Amazon. Just the bar, not the weights. I've already got weights. Just stuck it up on that cross beam through the hole over there, tightened up with the screwy thing that the bells or the weights are normally attached. Same at the other end. I've now got really good kind of lifting bar. Let's just demonstrate if I can. I obviously don't have the strength yet to actually do any lifting of myself. Is that gonna be able to see me? Probably not. Let's slide you along a little bit. There's loads of I wonder if there's clear on that side. Yeah, this may work a bit better. There's loads of this horrible bubble wrap stuff stuck to the metal, so sticking the camera on it is a bit difficult. I need a heat gun really, so I can prise that stuff off because it's stuck pretty well. Don't fall off camera. But yeah, obviously I'm going to hit my head, so I won't be able to go. Chin won't be able to go above the bar, and I can barely lift two. But you see conceptually what I'm talking about. Oh, good grief. That's me done for the day. And talking of conceptually, so I've got my lifting bench here. Let me stick you on there. So I want to build a little bench here. Put my glasses on. So yeah, I've got my little bench here. Oh, that's nice. Which is about, the way I put it, it's about the right width for a bench, although do I have a little bit of a cupboard space behind it. If I pull it forward a little bit, probably to about there. So I want to fit a bench seat in here anyway. It's probably be my main desk workspace. It does encroach a little bit into the floor space, but what's the point of floor space? So if I had a bench here with a slightly slopey backrest, and if this bench was 6 foot long, you can see where I'm going with this, and had a flip up to about here, then it would serve as my bed at night. It would go, so if I assume it's about 6 foot, it would go to, there's a tape measure, there it is. It would extend quite a long way. So if I assume the bench is roughly far enough that way, 5 foot, 6 foot. So it'd extend all the way over here. Now, is that too long for a bench come bed? How far out would it come? So about, it wouldn't need to be 3 foot. But what would 3 foot look like? That's 3 foot. So when it was extended, it would come out to about here, when it was open as a bed. Or if I had it 2.5 foot, which is probably more like it, about there. So to about there fully extended, and to about where it is unextended. So if I had a bench stroke bed here, and no cabinet behind it, just a sloping bed rest that would then be lifted out and put as the extension to the bed, backrest I mean, then I've got a lot of space over here for cabinets, because this bed frame wouldn't be there, and then I could have the walk through. Come on you. Rusty's having a bit of a lizard walk with me, but all he seems to be mainly focused on is trees at the moment. Oh, butterfly. The drought continues. It's another warm day. There's not really any rain on the horizon as such, but oh, lizard. Fast moving lizard. But the heat will dissipate a little bit. It'll be in the mid-20s rather than the high 20s around Ventnor over the next few days. Next week or two, I think. This fleabane, Italian fleabane, has got bugs visiting it. There's a bee, big lizard around there. Yeah, there's definitely bees and that on it. A few flies mainly, 1 or 2 bees. There's a lizard. Right, let's see if I can persuade him to come up the steps without the need to give him a treat. What normally happens is he'll stand there saying, no, I'm not moving, refusing to move. Oh, he's moving. You're going to come up, Rust? What's he going to do? Show him a treat. Here he comes. You're so cheeky. Yummy, yum, 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 yum. That's clearly very nice. So yeah, this is the lizard walk, which is his favourite walks because there's loads of lizards, which he just runs up to and points at with his snout. Didn't you, Rusty? Doesn't try to catch them, although they don't know that. Best time to come up here is just as the sun is becoming obscured up there, so later in the afternoon. So the lizards are still out, and they're still basking on the hot concrete and ground, but they're slowing down slightly, which they do once the sun is not directly on them. They're still out, but they slow down. Hello, Rusty. And then you can get closer to them and get nice photographs and video footage. So yeah, late afternoon, just as the sun vanishes, is the best time to come and look at the lizards. I mean, they're out now. You can hear them rustling away in the vegetation. These are wall lizards, obviously, not common lizards. Getting a bit warm in it, Rust. Not sure how long this walk is going to be. So Rusty likes this walk because of the lizards. I like it because of the lizards as well, but I mainly like it because it's a good bird watching spot. Just this little group of trees right on the beach between the houses. Little migrant trap, so little migrant birds come down and they get isolated in this little block of isolated trees, and they're easier to see and find and watch and identify. Oh, nice bit of shade, Rusty. So yeah, it's almost too hot for him to be out, so we're just going to have a brief walk. He's not very well, he's had an operation on his paw, so he's got an obvious limp. Isn't you, Rusty? Got an obvious limp. So I'm not going to have him out here for very long. Just a short walk so he can have his wheeze and his poops. It's a wood pigeon. Probably can't see that on the camera. You alright, buddy? Go back to your boathouse in a minute, have some water and chill out. Luckily the owner of the dog has a little boathouse down by the beach which stays very, very cool by day, even when it's really, really hot outside. And that's where Rusty lives, in heat wave conditions like this. He'll just come out for brief walks like this one. This one's a little bit long. Anyway, yeah, migrant birds. It's slightly early. So really it comes into its own September, October time, November. October's probably the best month. And you'll get little chiff-chaffs and goldcrests and firecrests flitting around in these sycamores. What date is it? It is... oh, poopy time. Won't film that. So it's 11:43 on the 15th of August. Yeah, very quiet bird-wise. Have a quick look, see if I can see any praying mantises and go do a bit of birding. Hot. It's 10 minutes past 1 in the afternoon during a heat wave. Why have I come here now? Anyway, let's go and see if I can see any mantises. So they are, I think, a Mediterranean species. Yes, they are a Mediterranean species. So what is it? The European praying mantis, presumably. Just getting a banana. 2 bananas. I assume they like it hot, therefore. But whether they go and shelter in the heat of the day, I really don't know. Right, let's walk up here. See if we can see any migrant birds. There's a long-tailed tit just went over. And a smaller thing, probably a warbler. Before that, there's a whitethroat calling when I got out of the car. Excuse me eating a banana in the background. Try and do so as quietly and respectably as possible, so you don't hear. At least I'm not slurping coffee. So I don't expect to see much bird activity, given it's the heat of the day now. Was it between 1 and 3 are the hottest parts of the day? Actually, no, it might be later than that. It might be between 2 and half 3 or something. It's hot enough as it is, though. Ooh. Let's just, this isn't where they are, but let's just check. This little verge here. I gather long grass, scrubby interfaces are good. Yeah, probably this verge isn't really where I'm going to find any. I'm just kind of flushing with my hand. Nothing obvious there. Let's go down to where I know they are. So they were found here last year, and they were young ones apparently, which presumably means they bred. It must mean they bred. And they've been seen again this year, about a week ago I think. So they've survived the winter. There's sheep droppings, which means the sheep are still on here, presumably. This is a nature reserve that's been badly managed over the last 5 or 6 years, I would say. It is superb chalk grassland, but a gift to nature who took it over from the council don't have the knowledge or resources to manage it properly, and it hasn't been grazed since they got it, really, only on and off. Despite there being really quite a lot of money spent on fencing and all that, they still didn't put animals on it. Just checking through the binoculars. One buzzard on the wires. So, yeah, not ideal. Let's see if... Right. Well, I'm going to go to the place where they have actually been seen, although it's worth checking more widely, I think. Can't imagine it's just one little population. Actually, there was one photographed in the Bembridge garden this year, so they're clearly in Bembridge as well. Or at least that one was. There's a white throat in there somewhere, tacking away. I haven't got very long here, so I'm not going to spend very long here. Burnt to a crisp. It's a real Tinder situation at the moment. I don't mean the online dating app. I mean, it's very dry. We're quite lucky there's not really been any wildfires on the Isle of Wight. Well, apart from the Heddon Warren, which did burn quite severely. That was the only, there's the buzzard, that was the only wildfire that I'm aware of on the island of any significance. That was 2 or 3 days, I think. Near Allen Bay. Luckily it didn't go west, because it could have hit the Needles and that kind of area. Well, Allen Bay, Chine. And the Needles so-called pleasure park. Don't want that burning down, do we? Right, this chalk grassland is totally destroyed this year, as in the drought has really knocked it out completely. So I'd be amazed if the butterflies do very much this year. It was good earlier for the butterflies, but now it's just gone way too far. Any eggs laid or caterpillars hatched are going to be totally fried and totally foodless. Just make sure the camera's on. Yep, camera's definitely on. Yeah, invasive Cotoneaster has taken over as well. Yeah, these droppings, these sheep droppings, look pretty fresh. So I assume there are sheep here somewhere still. Summer sheep grazing is obviously not a good thing. It should be quite heavy winter sheep grazing. If you're going to use sheep at all, I'd have cattle. Although traditionally it was always sheep grazed. When I say traditionally, the previous managers, i.e. Isle of Wight Council countryside team, who were basically got rid of, they used to have sheep on here as well. But if it was me, I'd have cattle. Or maybe mixed grazing. Even ponies. Mixed grazing of ponies and cattle would be good, I guess. Worth experimenting with. So, let's explore some edges. So I don't think they'll just be in this plain grass. I think they'll be where it's a bit taller and mixed in with scrub, which we're coming up to now. Could probably need a pole of some sort, a bamboo cane or something, to brush the vegetation. But I honestly don't know. I should probably have googled how to flush. Preying Mantises. I'm just assuming they'll be on the scrubby, grassy, rough areas like this. Oh my god, I've got one. There's one just here. Let's get the camera out so I can video close up. Is the camera on it? Yeah, there it is. How long do we reckon that is? That's my finger. It's about 1.5 to 2 inches. Wow. One praying mantis. One little praying mantis. It's not in focus. All I can say is they're pretty well camouflaged. There he is. Camera's well, the phone has just run out of fuel. What I have to do is put this closer to it. Don't know if that's in focus though. That is so cool. Number one. See if we can find any more. Just flew there. That's pretty amazing. Don't know if the camera got that. So they're very obvious in flight. So judging by that, it feels like it's just a case of walking through and bashing about a bit. And if something humongous flies up in front of you, you've got it. You've got a praying mantis. Basically flushing them might be the way to go. Let's just send Mark a message. Oh no, I can't. Phone's dead. That's definitely beginner's luck. There's a spider there. There's these old black and yellow stripy spiders. Can't remember, is it no, leopard spider? Can't remember what they're called. Loads of them. There's a grasshopper, which I gather is the prey of the praying mantises. Oh, there's one. Yeah, that one was a little tiny one. It flew out and I can't see where it went. So I assume that's a baby. So if they're going for grasshoppers, I assume there'll be more in the grass. But then again, there's also bush crickets, which is going to be on the bramble and the rose and whatever. And in the grass to some extent. Come on, guys. Right, it's getting very hot. I'm glad now that I know exactly where they are. I shall return better prepared with the camera actually recharged or charged up. I'm pleased with that. Like I say, a bit of chalk downland on the south coast of the Isle of Wight. Preying mantises, which colonised last year. And I was told they saw juveniles last year, and the little one that I saw fly down in this direction, I assume, was a juvenile. I don't know. All I know is I'm very happy to have seen wild, presumably wild-born praying mantis in southern England. Thank you for watching. Right, a quick interlude. I really hope you're enjoying my channel, and I get quite a lot of questions. How did you end up living in a car? How do you live in a car? And what are your plans going forward? Well, I've written a book on that subject, Breaking Free, by Cornish van dweller, funnily enough. You can find a link to where to purchase that in the description below this video, and where you'll also find links to my other books, such as this one, oddly enough, which is How to Write a Book on a Smartphone. And this book was actually written on my iPhone Mini 13 using voice to text dictation. And you'll also find this book, Bird Watching Around Ventnor. Link to that in the description below this video, and this one as well, Wildlife Watching Around Ventnor. I've written about 10 books, all of which are linked in the description below this video. Right, let's get back to watching my videos.